Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're plunging into a topic that, well, it affects our hearts, our wallets, and honestly, our very understanding of human connection in this digital age we're all living in.
Hmm.
It's a rapidly evolving thread, and it's really reshaping how we see online interactions. Those lines between what's real, what's human, and what's synthetic, they're getting seriously blurred.
They really are.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Indeed. And today, our focus is squarely on AI-powered romance scams.
Right.
And we need to be crystal clear here. These aren't just the old scams you might remember, with a bit of new tech sprinkled on top.
Yeah.
No, these are fundamentally different criminal operations. They're leveraging an incredibly advanced AI in ways we haven't seen before.
Okay.
So our mission today is kind of multifaceted. We want to really understand the anatomy of these scams. How are they actually built?
Layer by layer.
Exactly. We'll
Yeah.
dig into the psychology, too. What makes them so effective, so devastating. We need to grasp the scale, the global reach. It's alarming. And finally, look ahead. What's next in this constantly shifting landscape of digital deception?
And we've got a lot to draw on for this.
We do. We've pulled from a really diverse set of sources: cybersecurity reports, the latest on generative AI, psychological studies on why people fall victim. It's complex.
Definitely needs that multifaceted approach you mentioned.
Yeah.
So let's start with the basics, a high-level view. What exactly are these AI-powered romance scams?
Okay. At their core, they're a very sophisticated type of online fraud. Criminals are basically weaponizing AI to create these incredibly convincing fake personas.
Right. Fake people online.
Fake people, yeah. And the goal is straightforward. Emotional manipulation, financial manipulation, usually starts on platforms we all know.
Like dating apps, social media.
Exactly. Dating apps, Facebook, Instagram, even just direct messaging apps. The key tech, well, it's generative AI creating realistic images, fake backgrounds, the whole package. And then other AI personalizes the messages, tailoring them to the victim's interests, their online behavior, their vulnerabilities.
Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting. How do they actually use this cutting-edge tech? What makes it so profoundly deceptive compared to older scams?
That's the unsettling part. A huge piece of this is deepfake technology.
Ah, deep fakes. We hear about those a lot.
We do, and it's not just about stealing static photos anymore. Deepfakes let scammers generate hyper-realistic fake images, videos, even audio that's dynamically responsive.
Dynamically responsive, what does that mean?
It means they can use them in, say, a real-time video chat. The deepfake mimics expressions, eye movements, responds like a real person would.
Wow, so it looks like you're actually talking to them live.
Precisely, which makes it incredibly hard for someone to spot the deception. They think they're seeing and interacting with a real person.
That's terrifying.
And it's compounded by AI-generated voice messages. They sound just like authentic phone calls, capturing tone, cadence. It adds another layer of reality, of intimacy.
Okay, so visual, auditory. What about the conversations themselves?
That's where large language models, LLMs, come in. Think GPT 3.5 Turbo, GPT 4o Mini, Llama 3.2. These are the engines driving the conversation.
Right, the AI chat technology.
Exactly. And they automate entire conversation flows. GPT 4o Mini, for instance, it's fast, cost-effective, great for scammers managing thousands of initial chats.
Thousands.
Oh, yeah. Llama 3.2, being more open source, offers flexibility, maybe for tailoring responses even more closely to specific victims. This lets them handle hundreds, maybe thousands of interactions at the same time.
Incredible scale.
They mimic human-like dialogue remarkably well. They can express affection super quickly, adapt their tone based on how the victim responds. It just speeds up the whole manipulation process.
But they're not perfect, right? You mentioned limitations.
It's important, yeah. Current AI still struggles with absolute consistency over long periods. It might forget a detail mentioned weeks ago or contradict itself subtly.
Oh, okay.
So often in the later, more critical stages, a human scammer steps in. The AI does the initial heavy lifting, the volume work.
Got it. So AI is like a force multiplier, handling the early repetitive stuff.
Exactly. It automates the initial grind.
But that efficiency still makes it a much bigger threat than before, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Even if a human takes over later.
Oh, absolutely. A far greater threat. Because the AI handles the sheer volume and the perfection of that initial contact. It's like an automated deception factory.
A deception factory.
Oh.
That's a chilling thought. So how does this efficiency shape the scam structure? It starts with that initial contact, the profile creation.
Right. They cast a super wide net, dating apps, social media, DMs. And generative AI is key here. It creates completely synthetic identities.
Meaning the pictures aren't stolen, they're Made up.
Made up by AI. Totally unique, which means they bypass traditional reverse image searches. There's no original image to find online.
Clever. Sneaky.
Very. And these AI tools also craft detailed biographies, fabricated social histories, makes the persona seem totally real, relatable.
And they use specific types of fake jobs too, right? To avoid meeting.
Yes, that's a common tactic we see in the reports. Impersonating professionals with jobs that make it hard to verify them or meet up. Think military deployed overseas, oil rig workers, international business types, always traveling.
Provides a built-in excuse. Sorry, can't video chat, bad signal on the rig.
Exactly. It makes the victim less suspicious about why they can never actually meet in person.
That initial setup sounds incredibly calculated, designed to disarm you right from the start.
It is, meticulously.
So once they've made that connection with this perfect-seeming profile, what's next? How do they build that emotional bridge?
Okay, so after contact, we move into the crucial relationship building and grooming phases. This is all about using emotionally engaging communication to build trust.
And the LLMs are doing this.
A lot of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Generating messages that often feel, well, almost too perfect. Really polished, super romantic, and tailored precisely to the victim's personality, their vulnerabilities.
Like micro-targeting, but for emotions.
Exactly like that. It's sinister. And a major red flag here, one people often miss, is the speed.
How fast?
Super fast emotional escalation, expressing deep affection, even saying I love you, sometimes within days or hours even.
Days. Wow. That's not normal.
Not at all. It's designed to short-circuit your skepticism, trigger a strong emotional response before you can think clearly.
And the AI chatbots keep these conversations going. Learning.
Yeah, they simulate ongoing chats, learning from the victim's replies, adapting their style, getting more convincing over time.
Scary.
And sometimes they even create AI-generated friends or family members for the scammer.
Wait, fake friends too?
Fake friends, fake family, they provide social proof, validate the relationship, make it all seem legit, reduces doubt. Oh, look, their sister messaged me too.
That's incredibly elaborate, creating a whole fake social circle.
It really adds layers to the deception.
So this mirroring, creating this perfect partner, it draws people in powerfully. It sounds like they're essentially building a reflection of your deepest desires.
That's a great way to put it. An illusion of perfection that real relationships just can't match, especially not that quickly.
Which leads us to love bombing
Yeah.
and idealization, right? That's a core tactic here.
Absolutely central. Love bombing is that rapid, over-the-top expression of affection, admiration, commitment right at the start.
And the AI is programmed for this, to say, I love you almost immediately.
Exactly. Far faster than any normal human relationship would develop. And the impact, it just overwhelms critical thinking. It triggers attachment, makes you lower your guard.
I remember reading about a victim. The scammer said, I love you, after just a few messages, despite a big age gap.
That's a classic example, and this idealization is reinforced because AI can generate these two perfect personas. Physically attractive, always emotionally supportive, perfectly matching the victim's desires, using those AI images and deepfake videos.
It's almost hyper-real.
It can feel that way. Ironically, the consistency, the polish of AI messages can make the scammer seem more attentive, more romantic than a real person who has bad days or makes mistakes. It deepens the bond faster.
So this perfect, always-on persona builds immense trust. How does that pivot into the next phase, the grooming and psychological profiling? How does AI help them find and exploit weaknesses?
This is where it gets really surgical. AI tools analyze personal data, social media activity, stated interests, maybe past relationship history gleaned from posts, public records, looking for emotional vulnerabilities.
Like what kind of vulnerabilities?
Loneliness, maybe financial stress, a strong desire for partnership. The AI identifies these triggers.
And
Then the scammers tailor their manipulation strategies specifically to that individual. It makes the scam much more likely to succeed.
are certain personality types more vulnerable?
Research suggests yes. People with higher levels of, say, neuroticism or openness, or those already experiencing loneliness, they often report deeper distress afterwards. It suggests those traits might have made them more susceptible.
And people who strongly believe in romance or are naturally trusting.
Them too. They're more willing to believe in the authenticity of this intense online connection. And the AI chatbot is learning constantly from the victim's responses, refining its tactics.
Becoming more manipulative over time.
Exactly. And they often use a testing the water strategy.
How does that work?
Small requests first. A little gift. Help with a minor expense. See if the victim complies. If they do.
Then the bigger asks start coming.
Systematically. Escalating financial demands because they know the victim is now primed to help.
And those escalating demands lead to the fabricated crises and the actual financial exploitation. It's not just asking for cash, it's creating these dramatic stories.
Precisely. This phase relies heavily on emotional agency and manipulating sympathy. Scammers create these elaborate, detailed, often heartbreaking stories.
Like medical emergencies, legal trouble.
Yeah, medical crises, sudden legal problems, getting stuck while traveling, anything that justifies an urgent, unexpected need for money.
And these stories feel real because of the groundwork laid.
Exactly. They leverage that deep emotional attachment they've built to pressure the victim into acting fast without checking things out.
And AI enhances these stories too.
It can, generating fake documents, like hospital invoices, or using those deepfake video calls to prove the situation. Maybe showing the scammer looking sick or in distress.
Like that awful case with the woman who thought she was dating Brad Pitt.
A truly shocking example, lost over $850,000. The scammer used deepfakes, realistic messages, built trust over 18 months, presented himself as a producer needing project funds. It shows the long game they can play.
And then there's pig butchering. That sounds particularly brutal.
It is. Also called romance baiting. It's maybe the most financially damaging form right now.
How does that work differently?
They fatten up the victim emotionally for weeks, sometimes months, build massive trust, deep connection.
Like fattening a pig.
That's the grim analogy, yeah. Before the slaughter, introducing a fake cryptocurrency or investment platform.
So it shifts from asking for help to offering an opportunity.
Exactly. They spend ages building that trust, then pivot to these fraudulent investment schemes. And because the victim is so emotionally invested, it's incredibly hard for them to pull back, even if they start having doubts.
So once the money's gone, or maybe the scammer thinks they've gotten all they can, what happens then? The exit or escalation phase.
Right. It can go a couple of ways. Sometimes they just vanish, ghost the victim completely.
Leaving them devastated.
Utterly. Or it escalates. AI enables more complex exit strategies, like deepfake blackmail.
Blackmail, how?
If the victim shared intimate photos or videos, which often happens in these intense online relationships, the scammer threatens to expose them to family, friends, employers, unless they send more money.
Horrifying, trapping them further.
It's an implicit threat that keeps them hooked. And then there are secondary scams.
More scams after they've already lost money.
Unbelievably, yes. Fraudsters, again using AI, might pose as law enforcement or financial recovery agents. They contact the victim, promise to get their lost money back, for a fee, of course.
That's just cruel, exploiting their desperation.
It preys on their shame and desperation, prolongs the whole nightmare, victimizes them all over again.
The emotional toll sounds immense. You mentioned cognitive dissonance. How does that play into it?
Yeah, victims often struggle with that psychological discomfort, holding two conflicting beliefs. I love this person, and wait, something feels wrong here.
So how do they resolve that conflict?
Often by rationalizing the inconsistencies, ignoring red flags, sometimes even doubling down on their commitment to the scammer to reduce that internal conflict, especially if there's that underlying threat of blackmail.
And when the truth finally comes out?
The aftermath is just devastating. Shock, deep shame, anger, a sense of profound emotional violation. Some researchers have even likened it to an emotional rape.
That's a powerful comparison.
It highlights the depth of the trauma. It's not just the money. It's what researchers call the double whammy, losing the money and the person they thought they loved. It leaves deep scars, trust issues, intimacy problems long after.
The personal cost is just heartbreaking. Okay, let's shift now to the sheer scale. The financial devastation these AI scams are causing globally. They're scaling up fast, right?
Right.
Using AI for identities, outreach, personalized deception. So what does this all mean for us? What's the big picture impact?
The big picture is massive financial losses growing incredibly fast. In the U.S., the FTC reported over $1.3 billion lost in 2022.
$1.3 billion.
Billion, yes. And the FBI reported over $600 million in a single year, but they admit that's likely way undercounted.
Well, undercounted.
Shame. Many victims are too embarrassed or ashamed to report it.
That makes sense. And globally.
Equally alarming, over $80 million a year in the UK. AU $23 million in Australia just this year.
Wow.
And experts are now predicting that by next year, 2025, AI-powered romance scams could become the single most common type of fraud worldwide.
The most common type. That's staggering. And we're seeing these really high-profile cases that illustrate this, aren't we? Like that Keanu Reeves deepfake scam.
Exactly. That just hit the news this August. Two women lost nearly $210,000 combined. Scammers used AI-generated voice calls, video messages, impersonating Keanu Reeves.
And it was convincing.
Shockingly so, according to the sheriff's office report. One victim truly believed she was interacting with him. And the worst part, authorities basically said there's almost zero hope of getting that money back.
Heartbreaking. And the Brad Pitt case we mentioned earlier, the Martin Henderson impersonation, these aren't small amounts of money.
No, $850,000 in the Pitt case over 18 months of grooming. Another woman lost $375,000 believing she was with Martin Henderson. She even moved to New Zealand based on the scam.
Moved country.
Yes. It just shows the psychological depth, the long-term manipulation AI enables. Consistent, personalized interaction over months, feeling incredibly real.
So what are the specific tech mechanisms allowing this kind of scale? You mentioned automated persona creation.
Right. First, generative AI allows mass production of these synthetic identities, fake pictures, fake profiles, fake histories, and crucially, those AI-generated images bypass reverse image search.
Making them harder to debunk.
Much harder. And deepfakes add that layer of personalized video and audio. Plus, things like AI in painting, where AI fills in or modifies images, can make fake visuals even more convincing. Harder for automated systems to catch, too.
And the LLMs automating the chat.
That's the second pillar. Models like GPT-4o Mini, Llama 3.2, they automate those initial, often repetitive scam messages at a huge scale. They might not handle super complex long-term chat perfectly without a human, but they excel at starting thousands of conversations at once. Frees up the human scammers.
And the psychological profiling.
That's the third piece, and increasingly sophisticated. AI analyzes online behavior, emotional states, vulnerabilities scraping social media, public records in real time. It builds detailed profiles for highly targeted manipulation, makes the grooming phase way more effective.
And the ways they get the money are evolving too, not just bank transfers.
No, it's diverse. Gift cards are still common about 24% of cases, likely because they're hard to trace. Bank transfers, yes. But cryptocurrency investments are linked to much bigger individual losses.
Because of the pig butchering tactic.
Largely, yes. Those fake crypto platforms, often using AI chatbots posing as advisors, lure people into making huge deposits that just disappear.
And AI helps them launder the money too.
Increasingly, yes. Creating synthetic IDs, forging documents like balance sheets or utility bills.
To bypass bank checks, KYC.
Exactly. To bypass know your customer checks. It lets them open fraudulent accounts, mix the dirty money with clean money, making it incredibly hard to trace.
This really sounds like organized crime on a massive scale, not just lone wolves.
Definitely not. Romance fraud has become industrialized. We see huge operations in West Africa, the Yahoo Boys networks, and especially now in Southeast Asia. Scam compounds in places like Cambodia, Myanmar, Laos, often linked to human trafficking and forced labor.
Forced labor, people forced to run these scams.
It's a truly horrific dimension, people trafficked and forced to defraud others. These organized groups integrate AI to boost efficiency, reduce labor costs for basic tasks, and use AI translation to target victims globally across language barriers.
And who are they targeting most often?
Disproportionately, people experiencing loneliness, social isolation, older adults are frequent targets, also people going through big life changes, divorce, retirement, losing a loved one. Marginalized communities, too. Anyone perceived as emotionally vulnerable, really. AI helps scale these targeted attacks massively.
It's clear AI is a huge advantage for these criminals. But are there limits? Chinks in the AI armor, so to speak? And what about our defenses? How do we fight back?
That's the critical question, isn't it? And yes, there are limitations, for now. Current LLMs, as sophisticated as they are, can still struggle with long-term consistency.
Like forgetting details.
Yeah, forgetting details from weeks ago, maybe contradicting themselves on minor points, or just not responding naturally to really unexpected questions. A vigilant person might pick up on those inconsistencies.
So human oversight is still needed for the long haul.
Often, yes. Scammers tend to use AI as an assistive tool, especially for the initial stages, rather than fully autonomous. Human scammers refine messages, handle complex situations, maintain the deception over months.
But still, that AI assistance is a powerful force multiplier, as you said.
Absolutely. It handles the volume, the initial engagement, letting the humans focus on the most promising targets.
Okay. And understanding that scam psychology we talked about is key for prevention. So what are the practical red flags people should look out for?
Experts always highlight a few key ones. First, those super fast declarations of love. Intense emotion within days. Big red flag.
Right, too fast.
Second, constantly avoiding video calls or meeting in person, especially with elaborate excuses. And third, any request for money or personal financial info. No matter how small it starts or how good the reason sounds, that's almost always a scam.
What about practical steps?
Doing reverse image searches on profile pictures is still worth trying, even if AI images bypass it sometimes. Insisting on a live video chat, not a pre-recorded video, can sometimes expose them.
See if they'll actually show up live.
Exactly. And just being really cautious about sharing personal data online. The less they know, the harder it is to target you effectively.
Public awareness seems crucial here, too. You mentioned that McAfee stat.
Yes, 7 out of 10 people couldn't tell an AI love letter from a human one. It shows how much we need more education, more digital literacy about this.
Can AI help on the defense side, too?
Potentially, yes. Ironically, the same LLMs used to create scams might be trained to detect them, looking for those linguistic patterns, the procedural steps common in fraud. But detection tools are still limited, and scammers adapt quickly. It's an ongoing arms race.
So looking ahead, what other scary trends or future threats are emerging in this space? What else might AI enable?
It's a bit grim, yeah. One possibility is AI-powered virtual partners, chatbots that are persistent, evolve personalities, sustain long-term relationships. That really blurs the human-machine line.
Yeah, like a long-term AI girlfriend or boyfriend scam.
Potentially. Then there's AI generating fake legal threats. Imagine getting official-looking court documents demanding payment, all AI generated, or impersonating police to scare you.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
What else?
We're seeing attacks on universities now, real-time academic impersonation. Scammers using deepfake video calls to pose as professors or advisors, trying to get money or sensitive data from students or staff.
Exploiting trust and authority.
Exactly. And as mentioned, cross-language scams are just going to explode thanks to better AI translation. No language will be a barrier anymore.
So, in this arms race, what are the next-level defensive strategies? How can we detect these more advanced threats?
We need to fight fire with fire, basically. Training LLMs specifically to detect scam messages is one avenue, looking for those patterns.
Okay.
Researchers also recommend routine reverse voice searches, not just image searches, using digital forensics tools on audio messages.
Analyzing the voice itself.
Yes. And behavioral analysis, looking at how often someone messages, how long sessions last, patterns in communication, and AI might behave differently than a human.
Always available. Instant replies.
Could be a sign, yeah. Privacy preservation remains key. Limit what you share. And maybe platforms offering opt-in AI scam detection tools using metadata analysis without reading your messages directly.
That sounds promising. Like built-in protection.
Potentially. And a big recommendation, like from the UK's CEAT project, is creating a permanent real-time data sharing framework. Get government, academia, industry constantly sharing info on new scam tactics to update defenses quickly, like they did for deepfake detection.
That collaboration sounds vital. But despite all this potential, what's the reality right now for victims trying to get justice or recover funds?
It's tough, really tough. Prosecuting scammers, especially those overseas, is incredibly difficult. Jurisdictional issues, getting cooperation, it's complex.
The victims often don't get their money back.
Sadly, very often not, especially with crypto or gift cards. Financial institutions often can't help much with irreversible transactions. The vast majority of these scammers just get away with it.
Are there any successes?
There are some. They offer a bit of hope, like that 2021 case in North Texas. 35 people indicted for a $17 million romance scam ring. One got a 10-year sentence.
Okay, so it can happen.
It can, but those wins are still pretty rare compared to the sheer volume of the crime. There's a big gap between how fast the scams evolve with tech and how fast law enforcement and legal systems can catch up. So, just to wrap things up a bit, AI has really turbocharged romance fraud. It's made it one of the most sophisticated, widespread cybercrimes out there right now, using deepfakes, LLMs, voice synthesis, creating these hyper-realistic, emotionally devastating scams.
Yeah.
And the financial impact is huge, but the emotional devastation for victims, it's just profound. A stark reminder of the dark side when powerful tech gets into the wrong hands.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what stands out to you, our listener, after hearing all this, I think the core takeaway is pretty clear. That line between human and machine deception is just going to keep getting blurrier, which makes navigating the digital world more complex than ever.
Yeah.
But our best defenses, there's still vigilance, a healthy dose of skepticism, and really committing to digital literacy. Knowing the red flags, understanding the psychology, using the tools we have.
Yeah.
And it leaves us with some big questions, doesn't it?
Hmm.
As AI keeps advancing, could our basic human need for connection, for intimacy, could that become our biggest vulnerability? Not just to criminals, but maybe even to things designed just to simulate affection.
That's a deep thought.
It is.
Huh.
And what responsibility do the platforms have here? Are they doing enough to stop this? How do we prepare ourselves, prepare the next generation for a future where love, or something convincingly like it, can be generated by code?
Lots to think about.
A lot to think about. Definitely keep those questions in mind as you navigate your own online world.